The next time you get in your car and it's a night and you turn on your headlights, think about this. You know that your headlights right now, when you're traveling, you only are going to see a couple 100 feet ahead of you. And when you're stopped at a stop sign or there at a stoplight or even something in the road, you have no clue exactly what is ahead past what the lights show. I think about many times that is a great example of faith. Our faith is trusting God even in places that we're not able to see the final destination of that path. God wants each of us to continually step out of our comfort zone and trust Him with the unknowns. We have to leave room in our life for God to guide us. If God were to show you exactly step by step what your life was going to look like every single second, how would that be faith? Moreover, if we knew exactly beforehand what was happening, we probably wouldn't even need and have trust in God. It probably will come out of our own head and our own ideas, our own plans, our own desires and hopes. If we could see the exact path and even the final place that the path was taking us. But God wants us to follow Him in faith and in trust, even if we don't know where He's taking us. We understand today as believers in Jesus Christ that God sees everything. He is not limited to how bright your headlights are. God already knows, and He sees even in the dark places in our life that we have no clue of. He knows our past, He knows our present, and He knows our future. God is not limited. We also know, if we think back actually of how many times we've stepped out of our comfort zone and we followed the leading of God, we know for a fact that God has always blessed us if we simply would be obedient. God wants you in this journey that you're on to trust Him. Sometimes, my friends, you'll see exactly what God wants you to do. It'll be very clear. But very often, it will not be that clear. God might be calling you on a mission trip, and maybe you're not sure exactly how things are going to work out when you get there. I've been to several places around the world, and always my plans, it seemed, got turned upside down. But every time it was God's plan, it was always right. You see, if we only trust God when we can see exactly how things are going to wind up or end, then, my friends, exactly how much trust does that really require? I want to encourage you to trust God, regardless of how far you can see on the destination ahead. If God's called you, God will equip you. And when God equips you for this journey, my friends, you will be able to take any action without worry, without hesitation, and without overanalyzing every single step, and without being paralyzed in your faith. Why? Because you trust in God and you have faith in Him. Trust in God, have faith, regardless of how far your headlights show you. Spiritually, my friends, when God's with you, He will always light the path enough so that you will be able to travel just as far and exact location that He wants you to go. This is Pastor Ken Smith, and you've been listening to Transforming Lives.